All right, Rickey Smiley morning show, 12 minutes after the hour. Y'all got your front page right here. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone. And your front page is being brought to you by Urban One. Fight for your vision of the future and register to vote early. The right to vote gives us the power to hold those in office accountable and to remove those who do not represent our values. Every one vote counts. All right, I'm your girl, Eva Marcel, here with a very quick update on your headline news. So for coronavirus updates, Florida's largest teacher union filed a lawsuit yesterday over the governor's push to reopen schools during the pandemic. So the union says that the order violates the state's constitution, which requires schools to operate and open safely. There are also over 24 potential coronavirus vaccines in the works around the world. A trial vaccine in the UK is looking very good, and another trial will start here in the U.S. very soon. Also, President Trump said yesterday that he's going to start doing his daily coronavirus briefings again, and we're all looking forward to that. Meanwhile, Trump has threatened to send federal troops to Democratic-led cities, starting with Chicago. And the House of Representatives honored John Lewis yesterday. Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that he always worked on the side of the angels, and now he's one of them. Lastly, state senator in Georgia, Nikema Williams, has been chosen to replace late John Lewis on the ballot in November. All right, that was a quick look at your headline news. For more on what's trending, log on to the RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock TZ Fo Sheezy, what you got popping in sports?
My kneesy. The NFL makes an offer to the players to cancel all preseason games. Instead, they're going to have a longer training camp and then jump right into the season. So they haven't made the exception to this offer yet, but hey, I like that. I never did like preseason anyways. As Major League Baseball gets rolling, many players and coaches are kneeling during the national anthem during their exhibition games, which is great. The NBA tested 346 players at the Bubble campus in Orlando this week and had no positive tests for COVID-19. Very promising as they prepare to restart their season in Disney World. And last but not least, NFL wide receiver Antonio Brown, who is still on nobody's roster as of right now, decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and retire once again because the risk is greater than the reward, referring to COVID-19. So as of right now, Antonio Brown is back in retirement, ladies and gentlemen. That's sports right now. Gary with the T, what you got there, big dog?
All right, people are still talking about the real and how real is the real. Well, this is the real, y'all. Okay, now I heard this story out from a reliable source, even though she's denying it now. They're saying Miss Tamera Mowry. She said, honey, no, I'm not leaving the real because of money. She said, I'm going to say this once, and I've explained it, that I'm leaving the real. I've been there for 6 to 7 years. I'm just ready to try new opportunities and spend more time with my family. She said, I'm doing a Hallmark film. There's new opportunities kind of just popping up out of nowhere, and I'm just grateful. They're saying, girl, stop lying. Now, it's rumored, y'all, that
I believe her.
I don't believe it either. Now, it's rumored, y'all, that Tamera was asked to take a $2 million pay cut. Now, they're saying, y'all, that she's making like over $3 million a year, and they're saying that Tamera was one of the highest paid when Tamar was on there because, you know, nobody knew who the other girls were at the time, and everybody knew who Tamera was, and they kind of knew about Tamar because their family was just kind of getting on the scene or what have you, and they paid them the most money and stuff. And now they're saying that they asked her to take a cut because they doing big pay cuts, and Lonnie only makes like they say $1 million, and they're saying the other two girls make like $500,000 a season or whatever, and they asked Tamera to take a big cut.
Gary.
Well, I'm just telling you, and this came from a reliable source, a producer that I know, and they asked him to take this big pay cut or her to take this big pay cut, and she said no. So that's what's happening. But, I mean, that's a lot of money to take. But then that's also, I mean, you know, in this time and day, honey, I mean, jobs are hard to come by. But, I mean, Tamera and her sister, you know, they've been doing work forever. And people know who they are.
Tamera's been commuting. You know, Tamera lives in Napa, California, which is in Northern California. And she used to commute for 6, almost 7 years to work for The Real. So that has to be a strain. She has 2 young kids, a husband. You know, everything comes to an end at some point.
But she takes a good millions of dollars. She was getting paid millions of dollars for that commute too. So it ain't like
I know, but they have a successful winery. She's been very successful prior to this.
Okay. But all right, well, we're going to follow this story, honey, and see how this is really happening, child. But I'm like, all right, girl, when you could just walk away from coins like that, that's a good thing. And, you know, she has a good European husband who make good money, I'm sure, so that's good for her. But all right, the color today, honey, is one of my favorite colors. My color today, y'all, chartreuse. On the high end, you say chartreuse, and on the low end, you say beautiful light green. That's your color for today.
The hell is a chartreuse?
Baby, that's a light green.
Pretty.
That's a
like
beautiful color.
Name.
Yeah, but that's when y'all girls need to stop shopping at those stores y'all go to and get some good colors. All right, so Brad, what's going on with T.I., honey?
T.I. got something to say about Kanye West. I'm going to tell you all about it in the hot spot, y'all, coming up next on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show, baby.
The hot spot.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and
You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, that is 29 after the hour. What up, Brad?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. I'm your girl, Brett Tat Tat, and this is the hot spot where we bring you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into this thing. T.I. posted a photo of Harriet Tubman on his Instagram with the caption, "Nah, we can't let you do this, yay. What we not gonna do is slander nor disrespect the legacy of our heroic Queen Harriet Tubman by telling falsities in an attempt to discredit the contribution she made to liberate our people. Cause you bugging. This is absolutely too far, and I truly hope you either have a logical explanation for all this or get the medical attention you so desperately need, bro. I say this with love and sincerity." Kanye West's campaign failed to help him garner the 10,000 signatures necessary to make the November ballot in South Carolina. His presidential bid is off to a very slow start as he failed to make that ballot. He hosted a campaign rally on Sunday, but it was not enough to generate the signatures. Chris Whitmore, director of public information for the South Carolina State Election Commission, said he had a hard deadline of noon on Monday, July 20th, to get the 10,000 signatures needed as the petition candidate, but the deadline came and went without any communication from Kanye West's team. And write-in candidates are not allowed in South Carolina. His only other chance to get on the ballot would be to earn the nomination of an existing political party, which is unlikely. Now, he was able to submit his paperwork and $35,000 for a filing fee to make the Oklahoma ballot. All right, y'all, moving on. Nicki Minaj, she announced and made it official that she is pregnant. Yes.
Hey, congratulations.
She's with child, like Rasputia said. No, but I'm with child. The rapper simply posted a photo of her belly bump with the caption #preggers. Then she posted a second full body photo with no caption. The announcement ended months of speculation because back in September, she said she was retiring from music to focus on her family, but then she did a song with Tekashi 6ix9ine, Trolls, earlier this year. She married Kenneth Petty, her childhood friend, in October, and immediately started to refer to herself as Mrs. Petty. So congratulations to Nicki Minaj. She's having a baby. So you're having my baby. All right, y'all, moving on. Actress Yara Shahidi, she inks a deal with ABC Studios. She is only 20 years old, but her and her mother, business partner Carrie Shahidi, have inked an overall deal with ABC for their 7th son production. She said, "I am thrilled to be partnering with my home family, ABC Studios. This is an exciting next chapter alongside my family. It's exciting to add our production company to the roster of my peers and mentors who are also actively committed to sharing meaningful stories. 7th Son is their production company, and it will focus on producing shows, themes of history, heritage, culture, and joy, and shows that elevate underrepresented voices." Oh, that is awesome. All right, last but not least, y'all, Timbaland and Swiss Beats, they have inked a deal with Apple. That's right, they inked a deal with Apple Music for the Battle Series Versus. Each new battle will be now streamed for free on Apple Music and Beats One at the same time it's streamed on Versus. So the next battle is Wednesday, July 22nd between Snoop Dogg and DMX. All right, y'all, that's going to wrap up the hot spot for right now. Coming up next, we got Special K with the news you absolutely positively cannot use. And in the meantime, in between time, hit us up for them wake-up calls. That's 1-866-9-RICKEY, 1-866-9-RICKEY. The time now is 27 minutes before the top of the hour. It's the Rickey Smiley Morning.
It's Talk It Out Tuesday with licensed professional counselor Unetta Spring.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Listen, man, this is real important. I want to encourage everybody, I don't care what you're doing or what you're going through, go and get therapy. Go and get help. Hey, if your knee hurt, you go to the doctor, right? If you break your leg, you go to the doctor. You hurt your arm, break your arm, you know, something, you go to the doctor. You get sick, you go to the doctor. But nobody ever go to the doctor for their mind. The brain is a muscle, just like every other, everything else in your body. The brain is a muscle, and sometimes things affect the brain. So you need to make sure that you go and get therapy and go get help. I don't care if you had a death in the family, something happened to you as a kid, and now you're an adult or whatever, and you never really dealt with it. Go and sit down and talk to someone and get therapy. I believe in therapy. I'm so happy to have Yanetta Spring this morning. It's Talking Out Tuesday. Please help me welcome licensed professional counselor Yanetta Spring.
Good morning. Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, y'all. How y'all doing this morning?
Man, we good. Glad to have you this morning. A lot of stuff going on. Now, a lot of stuff going on in the news. Let's unpack some of this stuff. Now, most people agree that Kanye West is in a desperate need of mental health treatment after some outrageous comments he made during a so-called presidential rally in South Carolina on Sunday. What are your thoughts on that or whatever? And what do you see just from being a fan?
Yeah, my thoughts on that is it was concerning. You know, it was concerning seeing what I saw. And I know a lot of other people were concerned too. I don't know, I know he's shared about being bipolar. I'm not sure if he is actively receiving treatment based on what I saw.
Well, he says, actually, Yanetta, that he doesn't prefer to take his medication. And so people that suffer from bipolar disorder that don't take their medicine, is this what we are supposed to expect? Yeah,
oftentimes this is kind of what it looks like, where there's like that pressured speech where you're speaking very rapidly. A manic state is just like a heightened state of emotion. So you are just constantly talking, racing thoughts, just bouncing everywhere. Sometimes you feel like a superhero, like you could just take on the world. A lot of things really don't make sense or don't connect. So it is very concerning. I know a lot of people are concerned with, like, what do I do? Like if I have a family member or a friend that's presenting in a way that seems bizarre or seems out of character, or that they may not be, they may necessarily need some additional help. Like, how do I help them? That's what's been coming up a lot. Have you guys been seeing people ask questions like that too?
Absolutely. I mean, I have, and I have a question. What do you do when you have someone that you love, that have outbursts and episodes that are beyond just regular frustration, and you can tell that there is something bigger than just regular irritation? How do you get them help, especially if they don't feel like they need help, but they do?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. Now, I have some tips. We may not be able to get into all of them, but I'll share a few of them. The first is, one of them is really making sure you have a good relationship with them, right? The relationship you have with that person is important. So people listen to people who they feel connected to, people who they feel like they could trust. So if it's a family member and you're the family member that is always in conflict with this person and the relationship is strained, you may not be the person to talk to them, right? So you may have to find somebody who they trust within the family, or you may have to reach out to one of their friends to sit them down and talk to them about what's going on. The next thing is really telling them what you, understanding the timing of it, right? If they are in an active manic state, or if they are actively just out there, they may not be mentally capable to hear what you have to say, right? So you may want to reach out to them when they are more open, or when they are more balanced, than waiting until the crisis is there. Sometimes we wait until the bottom falls out before we address issues, but you've kind of been knowing that this person has had a problem for a while, but you don't want to address it until they're actively in a state. in a manic state. So really paying attention to the timing, that's important as well.
And the people, I'm sorry, people like Kanye, it's hard for him to trust anybody, like most of us celebrities. And then when you go talk to somebody, it's like, okay, you got to worry about, is this going to get out? Is that going to get out? I know it's client privilege and all that stuff, or the NDA and all that, but still, somehow it gets out. If it's not the doctor, it could be a worker that works there. So maybe he don't want people to have an absolute confirmation that he is bipolar, and he wants to keep using this, and it helps people talk about him every day, because we do it. So, what do we do as far as trusting somebody? You don't want to talk to somebody because they're going to judge you, or they're going to feel bad about you, or feel sad. So it's just hard to trust for people like us.
It is, and it's sad that it's like that. And I think with trust, it comes the fact that there's so much stigma around mental illness. Like, that's why we have to break the stigma, because people are trying to hide this because they're ashamed of it. But if we were able to talk about it and not be ashamed and know that this is a natural and normal thing, then there wouldn't be so much, hoopla around, okay,
it wouldn't be such a big deal.
Right, absolutely. Right. And then when we come to these people, we have to be able to do it in a non-judgmental way. We have to quit throwing out diagnoses left and right. You're bipolar. You're you're not a trained professional, so you can't tell somebody what they have.
Thank you.
So being able to tell them what you notice. Like, hey, I noticed you haven't been sleeping. I noticed you're not eating. I noticed you've kind of been amped up. Like, what's going on? And listen to what they have to say. Right. And I think we approach it just from such a judgmental space. Like, we know what's going on with you, and I'm telling just being more compassionate about what they're dealing with, because it's hard.
Because nobody's perfect. The same right? Nobody's perfect. The same people that's judging them have the worst issues that they haven't dealt with yet.
Oftentimes, you want to judge other people because you don't want to deal with your own stuff. But we all got stuff we need to deal with.
Amen.
Yeah, that's Gary right there.
Yes. You know what, Janetta, I will say this, honey, because I'm just sitting back listening, honey, and all of the shows are great, but this is one of the best ones. I'm listening to you, and this is
Gary.
Really
why don't you do like a miniature session one day with another night next Tuesday, and you talk about real quick, go and just talk about one thing that bothers you and what you thinking and what you feeling, and then let her help you and let y'all two go back and forth. Oh, I don't know. I'm just making
Ricky,
a suggestion.
You can't be laughing, though. Don't laugh.
No, I'm not going to laugh. I'll turn my mic off. I promise. I promise.
But I'm enjoying today because, I've been bipolar for over 30 years, honey, and I've been taking lithium for over 30 years after I went through all the other medicines to find out which one worked for me. Because, I went through the Cogentin, the Escalade, the Narvane, and then lithium was the one that worked. And stuff and yes, when you don't take your medicine, honey, you do go on those highs and lows.
When you do, Gary, can you talk about like when Gary was working at Wendy's, when the Wendy's was leading up to the part, when he threw the chili across the restaurant at Wendy's. I want to get into when the feelings started to build, when the phone kept ringing. What was he dealing with? What was he going through? And he got frustrated
for him
and took a whole damn pot of chili and threw it across
aggravating.
Wendy's.
It was the phone ringing.
We'll talk about it. We're gonna go through it. We're gonna walk through this on Tuesday. Just figure out what happened. Counselor, you're not a spring. Let everybody know how you can be reached.
You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, Spring Force Counseling. And if you want to subscribe to my mailing list, you can text the word spring to 55444.
See, Counselor Spring, you ain't no good either because you just laughed at Gary. Get your ass off this phone.
No, I was not laughing at Gary.
That's right, I knew. That was his voice.
Yes, you was.
You love you?
I love you, Gary.
I love you too, honey.
Bye.
You liar!
I believe him, yo. I don't know why, but I do.
All right, Rick Smiley Morning Show. And the time right now is 13 before the top of the hour, y'all. It's time for news you positively absolutely cannot use. What else, Special K?
Okay, usually I do be lying, but I'm telling the truth today. Today's news is sponsored by gospel superstar Kirk Franklin's new clothing line, GrownLittleMan.com, where the slogan is, rock my suits, and when you get done, take it off and put it on your 6-year-old son. So, we want to make sure we
He gonna kill you. He gonna kill you. You better be glad he ain't listening because he'll show call up here.
Hey, he gonna have to reach up to choke me though.
Cause he got time. He play all. Kurt Franklin play all day.
Exactly. He got time and money. Two things I ain't got enough of. All right, Rick. So here's what I'm telling the truth about. Now I said I'm talking about black cars, right? So over the weekend I heard something. I don't know whether it's a podcast or an excerpt or something, but I heard a black man over 40 years old of some national status. A black man say. They was talking about cars, and he said that he didn't know what a Buick Regal was. He said, I never heard of that. I said, wait a minute. As Gary would say, this disturbed my whole spirit. How are you a black man over 40 years old and you don't know what the blackest car ever is?
Right.
If a Buick Regal ain't the blackest car ever,
right,
then what is the blackest car?
The Cutlass.
I'm about to go down the list.
Well,
These are the blackest cars ever. The Buick Regal, the Cutlass Supreme.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Pontiac Grand Prix.
Right.
The Chevy Monte Carlo.
Oh yeah.
The Cadillac triplets. The Cadillac Seville, the Cadillac Eldorado, and the Cadillac Coupe de Ville.
Oh God.
And the Sedan DeVille.
But the Sedan DeVille is on the borderline because a lot of old white men would drive those. But you, in the 70s or the 80s, you couldn't buy a Cadillac Seville as a white man unless 4 black people signed on. They had to sign a letter and give it to you, and you had to take it to the dealership. You had to have a letter of verification for 4 black people for a white person to buy a Seville.
All the facts. Everything you're saying is a fact.
And that L-Dog, come on now. It ain't never been a white man ever that drove an L-Dog with that wheel on the back.
Yes, sir.
You remember when the reefer man would drive that L-Dog through the neighborhood, and he had a car phone.
Rest in peace, Thomas Smiley.
Thomas Smiley had one. Hey, Rick,
every 2 years, my Uncle Kid in Cleveland would trade them Cadillacs in. He had every last one of them.
Did he have a
come
car
to Birmingham
phone
to pick us up and take us to Cleveland in the damn Cadillac? We thought we was rich.
You was, but did he had a car phone in it?
No, we didn't have that.
Now,
the last one he probably did.
Now, the Oldsmobile 225, a.k.a. the Deuce and a Quarter.
The Deuce and a Quarter, yes, sir.
That Deuce and a Quarter, that's an Oldsmobile 225.
Okay, I just took the car phone out of I got a 90. I do have presently right now a 96 sedan DeVille. It's in the garage. My granddaddy gave it to me when my grandmama passed.
We all know the Cadillac. Yeah, we all know the Cadillac.
Sir. Yes, I drive. I go and get in front of funerals and drive in front of the hearse just because. Just to drive.
Last one. The Buick LeSabre. The Buick LeSabre, the Pontiac Bonneville, and then coming up into the more modern days, you got the Chrysler 300. You know that's a black car. That was even designed by a black man. Made it look like the poor man Rolls Royce. You got the Cadillac Escalade, the Lincoln Navigator, and of course, the car of choice of all thugs, hoodlums, and people on probation everywhere, the Dodge Charger and the Dodge Challenger.
Yes, sir.
Those are
They are in
the blackest.
They are in every episode of First 48. Is a Dodge Charger got something? If he in that Dodge Charger, he got something to do with that murder. Right. Every single episode of First 48, you see a Dodge Charger got something to do with it.
If when he ain't the killer,
I say yeah.
If he ain't the killer, he know the killer.
He know the killer. You're right.
Ricky, you lead the funeral procession?
Yes, sir. In that Cadillac, I do. I've done about 3 of them. I always give a pastor a ride to the cemetery, dropping back off at the church for the repast. Hey, Eva, you think I'm lying? You can ask Beyonce now. You can ask Beyonce and start to listen. When my granddaddy died, I did drive my granddaddy's Cadillac in front of the hearse. It was pretty cool. I did, and then I got to the cemetery and pushed the emergency brakes down, and everybody left the cemetery, and I could not get the emergency brake back. I had to go on YouTube. And then we sitting there because my granddaddy's grave is right by the street. I'm sitting there up. I done got out of the car trying to figure out how to get the emergency brake on. The workers came and they was letting my granddaddy casket in the ground. I got the video. I'm about to post the video right now. If you think I'm lying.
Hold it. Half man, half woman. It's Gary. I want a hip flip you to the T.
It's Gary, baby.
All right, it's about a morning show, 12 minutes after the hour, y'all. Gary's tea is being bought by Walgreens. Now, y'all know that summer may look different this year, but Walgreens is making it easier for you to find great deals with their new ways to shop. This summer, shop online, in-store, or get select essentials delivered with Postmates. See Walgreens.com for details. Walgreens. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, America. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood, and here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Singer Tamera Braxton, everybody says she's doing okay, y'all, after an alleged suicide attempt last week. Now, according to the blast, y'all, they're saying the singer, who is alert and responsive, was moved to a new Los Angeles hospital over the weekend that specializes, y'all, in depression, anxiety, and sexual assault trauma. Now, they're saying that she's going to remain at the facility while she is evaluated for further treatment. Now, a spokesperson for the singer said that Tamera has been transferred to another facility for further evaluation and treatment out of respect, y'all, for Tamera's privacy and that of her family. No additional information is available at this time, y'all. So let's continue to pray, y'all, for Tamera Braxton, y'all, and we're glad that she's doing much better now, and you know, and hopefully everything is looking up for her. So, all right, moving on in other celebrity news, y'all. While we're praying for Tamera, y'all, let's continue to pray, y'all, for Real Housewives of Atlanta star Miss Portia Williams, y'all. Now, we all know, y'all, that Portia was arrested recently in Louisville, Kentucky for, you know, protesting and what have you. But now it's being reported that Portia, y'all, has been told that she must self-quarantine for 14 days, y'all, before she could resume filming Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, a lot of people saying, why they making that girl quarantine herself? And she was out there fighting for the rights, honey, you know, protesting for justice for Breonna Taylor, and they telling her that she can't film the show. Is that some type of discrimination or
probably because she was in jail and they don't
No.
know if them people around her had anything?
It's not just her. It's anybody. There are a lot of new red tape around production, so they're making sure they're testing weekly. And if you have flown out of state, then they're making you quarantine just so you don't expose anybody.
Oh, so I was just to say, bless her spirit. This girl got to work here, and they telling her she can't work because she flew out of town to protest. But nevertheless,
But they're supportive. Everybody's very, very supportive of Portia right now. She's doing a good thing for the people, like John Lewis says. She's getting in good trouble.
Oh, exactly. All right, then. All right, moving on to my final story, y'all. Christian Cowan. Eva, I'm sure you know who that is. Christian Cowan. He calling out Khloe Kardashian. He's a designer. He accused this girl of selling her dresses and things that he gave her on her website. Now, she said that he gave her the dress and he did not tell her that she had to bring them back or what have you, because he gave them to her to wear and whatever. But she decided to sell them because I guess she didn't want them no more, honey, and didn't need them in her closet. So now he's saying, honey, that she sold dresses, honey, without asking him or whatever, and he's putting her out on blast or what have you and stuff. Khloe may file a multi-million-dollar lawsuit. But do y'all do that? I mean, models, if somebody gives you something, is it for yours to keep, or do you have to turn it back in, or what? Eva, did she faint?
Brad, what do you say? Because you get a lot of free stuff. I'm going to let you speak.
We talking about modeling free stuff.
Yeah, go ahead,
Okay,
Eva. He's talking to you.
When you're a model and you're gifted something for free, like I have dresses for Donatella Versace.
I get a lot of free stuff. I pay for my stuff too. Hold on now.
No, you don't.
No, I don't mean it like
you get free
that.
stuff now.
Yeah, Brad get a lot of free stuff. Yeah, she shares it.
You spend real thick money on your stuff. We know that. But I'm just saying, when someone gives you something or a designer gives you something, it's personal. So usually that piece you wouldn't give away. But sometimes you have stuff in your closet, Ricky. You know, like you did a big show and you wore this fancy suit. You're not going to wear that suit again. So you might sell that.
The hell.
Did you talk about Mrs. Smiley, baby?
The hell.
Child.
I promise y'all, we're at the church that next Sunday and be right there on the NAACP Image Awards. Fall right up in First Baptist with it. You damn right. I don't know. I ain't that rich.
Nah, okay.
I done put me a little savings account aside, but there ain't nobody balling like that. I promise you, go in that closet.
And as for Brad shares her free stuff. She always giving me something, so I sure appreciate it.
She always
for it,
giving
honey.
me
So
stuff.
thank you, Brad, for the
She
stuff,
got the
honey.
plug.
I wish somebody give me something.
Well,
All right, give us a clue right quick.
the clue today, y'all, chartreuse. On the high end, you say chartreuse, and on the low, you say beautiful light green. That's your clue for today.
All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for church in 60 seconds with the one and only Pastor Fred.
Hallelujah. So glad to be here this morning. Saints and angels. Those that can, and there's so many of those that can't.
That's right.
Brother Ricky, Mother Brad, the Bible says in Galatians 5:1 that we should stand fast, therefore, in the liberty by which Christ has made us free. And do not be entangled again.
Right.
Somebody say again.
Again.
Say it again. Say it again.
Again.
With this yoke of bondage. You know, sometimes, Brother Rick, it's not what you did that got you in trouble.
Come on now.
But it's what you did again. You went back over there.
Come on now.
One more time, You knew you were wrong, but you found yourself going back again.
Yes, sir.
You got wrapped up, tied up, tangled up, entangled up. Oh yeah. But God
Bring it on home.
sent his son to get you untangled.
Yes, he did.
Let's go.
Untangled from an ex-girlfriend who stole your class ring and messed up your credit with Finger Hut. Untangled from serving time because we know you soft and you wouldn't have made it in jail. Thank you. For getting me untangled. I was tangled up like a Boy Scout knot. You got me out. Follow me at the real Pastor Fred. I'll be getting untangled.
Y'all give it up for Pastor Fred. All right, man. Rickey Smiley, the morning show. Black's on. What's going on?
What's happening, cuz? What's going on, bro?
I don't even know why I sound excited. I said, Black Tony, what's going on? Supposed to be like, what you want? What you want? Let me bring my energy down.
I don't good, but you might need to call your lawyer. So you got a lawyer?
Yeah, I got a lawyer.
Okay, well, you need to call your lawyer. Then I need to know what the phone number is for the work for the company or lawyer. I need to call the law office for the company because we might have some problems, Charlie. I'm just saying.
Call the law office for the company.
It might be a little situation. Yeah, I need to call somebody because it might be a little
Human
situation.
resources?
No, I need to call the legal office because they say I need to call the legal office because we might get a little phone call today. Because I kind of like, at the truck, I'm trying to get my business back up. You know what I'm saying? Since I ain't been working a lot, I'm trying to get my business back up at the truck. So I kind of like.
I thought they were still smoking.
Yeah, they is. That's why I came. That's why I ran into a problem at. Because you know what I'm saying. Cause two of them came through last night, and I made them wear masks. Cause I'm responsible. You know what I'm saying. I made them wear masks in the truck.
Right.
And I cut a little hole in it.
How they gonna smoke with a mask on?
I put a little hole in it so you can stick the crack pipe through the hole. But then two of them was smoking last night. I ain't know the pipe got hot like that. And their mask caught on fire, and they couldn't get it off their face. And on top of the trap, I got a sign that says sponsored by Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
No, you don't.
Cause that made folks come through.
No, you don't.
That's what I'm saying, Shouty. Do you got a lawyer?
No, you ain't gonna have me out there like I'm selling weed and stuff.
No, Shouty, you already out there. Your whole name up there and your picture. Look. And Brad picture and Rod T. I got everybody picture up though, Shouty. That would make me.
The morning show whole logo up on the side of the trap. Don't do that, man.
I kind of feel him on that though, dog.
Don't feel him,
man. Rod T, why you be always on this side? You feel what's good gonna come out of that, Rod?
Think about it. He cross promoting the brand. Think about it.
Some crackheads. Some crackheads, man.
We want all listeners.
They still radios.
They got no. Hey, Rod.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Okay. Hold it. Half man, half woman.
It's Gary. I wanna hip you to the T. It's Gary, baby.
All right. It is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. It's Gary has the tea and the clue of the day. What up, Gary?
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning to you. It's Tuesday, a beautiful day in the neighborhood. And here's what's happening in celebrity news, y'all. Actor Terry Crews. People need to leave Terry Crews alone. I think he's a great guy. He's doing wonderful things for the community, and he's working. He's doing TV shows, and he got a good family. Well, now somebody decided they want to attack Terry and said he said some things that he felt real horrible and sad about. Now, you know, it was Nick Cannon, a lot of people saying that he was hard against Nick Cannon when Nick Cannon said some of the things he did about Jewish people and what have you, and saying that, they were racist and blah, blah, blah. Well, now, somebody pulled up the records and said, okay, with Terry Crews. Now, did you just say, honey, when you was young, you was never afraid of the KKK, but you was afraid of black people? And say, so how you going to sit there and say this about him? He said that he didn't say that in that content, but, people said, well, you did say it because you said, honey, disparaging free thoughts, and it was insulting against black people. So now Terry Crews back on the skillet again, because, he been really going back and forth since that Gabrielle Union situation.
Right.
That they've been really getting on his butt, honey. So we're going to keep him lifted in prayer, and hopefully, he said that. I'm sure a lot of other people say that too, but that you would never say it publicly like he did. Moving on, in other celebrity news, Halle Berry. Congratulations to Halle Berry. She gave all you Africans in America a peek at new romance, honey.
Halle Berry.
Yes, baby.
Halle Berry.
Yeah, they say Oscar winner Halle Berry. This is what she did. She dangled for a fun day. She put a pair of toes, 4 pair of toes, y'all, over the veranda at her beautiful Los Angeles home with a bottle of wine. Did y'all get that?
She did what?
She dangled 4 pair of toes in the center of a bottle of wine from her Los Angeles veranda. That means her patio. She was on her patio, and she letting everybody know she got her man now. She got a new man now. They say she.
How
yes,
cute.
isn't that cute? Okay. They say back in 2017, she, after 5 months, she broke up with Alex the kid, and they were saying, and then she had a divorce from her husband, Oliver Martinez. Now she got her a new piece, honey. They didn't say if he was African and American or if he was European descent.
What color were his toes?
Well, they just could see the bottom of the feet. They just see the bottom of the feet.
Wouldn't that be 2 sets?
I know, 4 sets. What
is
that?
Like
4 pair. Well, I guess it was.
She always get a man.
Cyclops.
She just can't keep it.
Well, she don't keep it because they probably don't be worthy of it. She probably realized, honey, I'm just not stay with that. And that's the black and the white one, honey. So
Gary,
she's not going to stay there with that mess, honey. So this girl move on, honey. So go, Halle, and do what you need to do, honey. She's not doing like, what's her name here? Meg Thee Stallion.
Do what you need to do.
Okay. Did y'all hear?
What you say, Brad?
Do what you need to do. Don't stop wondering why. Come on. I'm sorry, Gary. Go ahead.
All right.
Gary.
Oh, okay. Come on. Get the rest of it, Brad, honey, before we end.
That's all right.
But she.
I got to win in a race.
Come on, Brad. I live.
A lifeless fool. I traveled each and back home.
Oh my God. Man, anyway, moving on, honey. My final story. I'm gonna do this. My final story. Then Brad, honey, could do her Tony Braxton rendition. Now, Meg Thee Stallion, y'all. Now, Brad, now you've talked about this. Now, Meg.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people are saying, y'all, that Meg Thee Stallion, honey, was actually trying to get away from Tory Lanez. They say her and her girlfriend jumped out of his SUV and were trying to leave, honey. They say he was doing her like they used to do slaves, honey. He shot her in the feet, and that's how she.
What?
Gary, how do you turn something so serious, so petty?
That is what they used to shoot
You
slaves
said she was Della Reese?
Exactly.
Gary, cut the music.
She was on the foot.
I'm clocking
the pinky toe.
I'm clocking out. No, for real,
Yeah,
this
that
ain't
Chicken
even
George.
funny.
Gary.
But no, Meg, that's what they say.
You said he was quick.
That's not funny.
Hold on, Gary.
My stomach, I can't do this here.
How?
Hold on, Gary. Gary.
Yes.
And what they said,
This girl tried to get out and run, and he shot in the feet like they used to do the slaves. So she couldn't.
I can't laugh no more, please. Oh, God.
God.
My stomach.
No, that's
I got
not
a
funny.
headache. Please, I just want to stop.
You all right?
I'm fine. It's sad.
Well, why you crying, Gary?
It's just sad. I mean, because what he did what he had to do.
He what, Gary?
He did what he had to do.
Don't do this, y'all. Don't do this. I got a headache in my stomach. Hurt to do this.
Oh, boy.
You got a headache in your stomach.
cried. I can't. Please.
Gary, give us the color.
The color today is chartreuse. On the high end, you say chartreuse, and on the low end, you say beautiful like rain.
And you said that's what they used to have to do.
I'm funny, please.
You can't even laugh, Gary, because you're sick. Your stitches gonna come out.
They're gonna pop out.
Oh.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
It's the front page news.
It's what's trending now.
All right, y'all, we got a lot of stuff going on in the news, man. We got the one and only attorney Glenn at 3 on with us this morning. Good morning. Glenn and Young.
Good morning, Ricky, and good morning to your radio audience.
Hey, man, happy to have you this morning. A lot of stuff jumping off. Now, yesterday, Donald Trump announced plans to crack down on anti-racism protests by sending federal law enforcement to more Democrat-led cities. Is that legal?
Ricky, I think it's not only illegal, but I think what it really is a fascist dress rehearsal for what the president intends to do if he loses the election.
Oh, snap. Start the music. Wait a minute. Mm-hmm. What?
It's a fascist dress rehearsal for what the president intends to do if he loses the election.
What you mean, Glennon?
What I mean is, Ricky, is that fascism, whenever we have these political events in our country, as a political science, I go back to look at the historical origins of stuff. And I started reading about Benito Mussolini with the rise of fascism in Italy before World War II. What happened is that fascist regimes are authoritarian political structures that use political violence as a means of establishing order. This is exactly what the president is doing. They're also characterized by the use of private militias, like the brown shirts in Nazi Germany. By taking a federal police force that doesn't have name tags, that doesn't have insignia, they're placed in cities against the opposition, not just without the knowledge of local political people, but against the vocal opposition of local leadership. He's creating a dress rehearsal for what he intends to do to suppress and intimidate voters at the polls, like they used to have people standing outside the polls in Alabama with axe handles to keep people from voting, and also to intimidate people in the event that he loses. I can't reach a different conclusion.
Wow. So this includes, places like New York, Chicago, Philadelphia, Detroit, Baltimore, and Oakland.
Look at where all these things are located, Ricky. It doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they're protests. They haven't had any looting in Detroit.
Right.
So the reason he's picking those cities is because they're in states that he needs to establish control because they've got Democratic governors that have a political influence. That's why he's picking those cities, not because it has anything to do with the stated reason. This is really his way of creating, like I said, a dress rehearsal for what he intends to do to further his party's and his administration goals of voter suppression, and also to intimidate voters and to contest the election. I can't reach a different conclusion as I look at the historical origins of what this is.
Hey, Glennon, can I ask you?
Go ahead.
Glennon, have you also heard that it's possible that some of these so-called agents of the government are not even government employees at all, but that they are Blackwater sponsored mercenaries that are like hired by a private company?
I have heard that, Special K, and that would not be unusual because the Department of Homeland Security, like some other executive branch agencies, have relationships that allow them to hire private contractors to work in these sorts of operations. But the thing that's so scary about it is that why would the federal government place federal police officers in cities that didn't ask them to be there and purposely conceal their identities? These guys have on masks. They don't have any type of insignia. They're getting out of unmarked vans. They're snatching people off the streets and taking them to undisclosed locations. This is like the black operations that went on when they were contesting terrorists. I mean, this is really, really scary stuff. And I really think that it really is a dress rehearsal. Like I said, I can't reach a different conclusion as I look at the historical origins of this type of conduct.
So how can he get away with this? I mean, if he's breaking the law, I mean, we don't have a majority in the Senate. What happens? I mean, how is he held accountable?
Well, one thing that President Trump realizes is the time that it takes for the law to move, it's very, very slow. And like failure to give up his tax returns and some of the other things that he's done, he realizes that in order to contest it, because, you know, there are going to be lawsuits filed. The city of Portland has filed a lawsuit, but it'll be way after the election before the courts make any ruling that could stop him from doing what he's doing. He's got the force. He's using it now. He's desperate, and I think he realizes that if he doesn't do something, that he's going to lose the election as a foregone conclusion. And I really think that this desperation is causing him to resort to fascist tactics by putting these what is essentially a private militia on the streets of cities in our country.
Do you think we're going to end up in a civil war?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
And he's got the attorney general on his side.
Absolutely.
Of course he does. Now, interestingly enough, the district attorney in Philadelphia said that they were going to criminally prosecute anybody that harassed, assaulted, and intimidated citizens in the streets of Philadelphia, including federal law enforcement officers. So,
well, how are they going to do that?
Larry Krasner has thrown down the gauntlet.
Well, how are they going to do that, Glennon?
The same way they would arrest anybody else that breaks the law. This is set up for a confrontation, Ricky, but it is also intended to divert people's attention away from the pandemic, the economy, and all these other things that are happening. You know, Trump is a master of diversion. If you also know, this sort of behavior is consistent with the focus of his campaign. He's got those commercials running showing that the police are not going to be able to respond to 911 calls and stuff like that. So this law and order is part of the campaign strategy. This is the intersection of politics and fascism.
Well, Glenn, I have a question as a parent. So recently, Trump said that he threatened to cut funding for public schools if they do not fully reopen in the fall. But it's so contradictory to a lot of different governors and cities that are saying otherwise. So what does that mean for parents and their kids come fall, which is next month?
It's intended to create dissension and political disorder, and it's also intended to get parents to put pressure on their local political people to force them to do what Trump wants. Those monies have already been appropriated. That's illegal in the same way it was illegal for Trump to try to stop the appropriated money that was going to the Ukraine. There's a statute that prevents that. But he did it in that instance, and he will probably do it now unless these, local school systems fall in line. And if he does it, then they'll resort to having to file a lawsuit, which won't be resolved until after the election.
So last week, the CDC, you remember what happened with the CDC and the administration deciding that they no longer want the reports going straight to the CDC, rather to the White House. What is going on with that in reporting of the coronavirus data? Like, how are we going to get accurate accounts if the CDC is no longer who we look to?
We're not intended to. Propaganda is another characteristic of fascism. And propaganda is not just the distribution of false information, it's keeping accurate information away from the people.
That is great. That's the craziest stuff. That's the scariest segment you ever done on this show, and that's really happening. And
Ricky, it's the same reason that in China people are not allowed to have access to the internet, because they're afraid that if people know the truth, that they'll do something about it. He's deciding that since he can't do anything about what's happening with the coronavirus, he'll stop us from knowing the truth about the statistics.
Wow. Glendon, if people have any questions about anything, how can they find you?
They can hit me up on Twitter at G3, and if you follow me, I'll follow you back.
There it is, y'all. Attorney Glendon Threet, graduate of Carver High School, the proud Carver High School, Birmingham, Alabama, member of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, one of the best attorneys in the country. Hey, Glendon, thank you, man.
Thank
you, Ricky, and y'all have a wonderful day.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, it is about that time. Jeff Johnson got 3 things that you need to know. Jeff, good morning.
What up, man? You good?
Man, I'm blessed this morning, man. A lot of stuff going on. Woo!
It's too much going on. Like, I was overwhelmed even thinking about coming on this morning because there's so much insane stuff going on. And I didn't want to get distracted by some stuff to miss talking about other stuff. So, right. Like, do you realize, y'all, that Donald Trump is getting ready to send the feds into Chicago? Do you know this?
Yeah. That's what Glennon just got finished mentioning. It's about to get crazy.
Well, and it's already crazy in Portland, which is where nobody is really talking about what's going on there. where they're literally talking about there are federal police officers, and I'll be very honest, I don't even know what the details of that are, but they're talking about federal folks that have been picking protesters up off the street. And listen, Donald Trump is ultimately saying, you know what his excuse is about sending the feds into Chicago?
What?
He's talking. He's saying that cities where Democratic mayors are the cities where they can control their own folks, and places that are overrun with violence. And I'm like, well, I'm not quite sure what the hell he's talking about, but the last I checked, most Republicans just don't get elected in large cities. So if you think about the largest cities in the country, Rick, you've got New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, Houston, Phoenix, Philadelphia, San Antonio are the largest cities. It's not till you get to San Diego that you have a Republican mayor at all. Then you go to Dallas, San Jose, Austin, all Democratic mayors. San Francisco, Columbus, Ohio, Indianapolis, Charlotte, Seattle, Denver, Washington, Boston, all Democratic mayors. And so there are mayors in some of the largest cities in the country that aren't dealing with the same level of violence that Chicago has always dealt with, regardless of who's the mayor. If the president was serious about using federal resources to squash violence, he would be looking at jobs programs and education and housing issues and all of the things that we know reduce systemic poverty. Now, listen, because I know there's a bunch of y'all suckers out there that's talking about you making excuses for people that are committing violence. I'm not making any excuses. I think that there are some people that need to be taken off the street. What I'm telling you is you don't stop violence with policing. You stop violence with opportunity. And so until we are real with that, we're going to have a policing issue, but we're going to keep having police on the street that don't know how to deal with our community until we have leadership and resources that are about reducing some of these issues that we know reduce violence. And that's just what it is. And we can argue that. In better news, I'm super excited, man, that Grownish star Yari Shahidi just inked a whole new deal with ABC. She's got a development deal where she's going to be, it's an exclusive overall deal with the studio behind the series, but she's going to be in a place, man, where she's getting ready to ink a whole lot of content. And at the same time, we just heard that LeBron with Spring Hill Entertainment inked a deal with ABC for scripted series. So I'm super excited, Rick, and I'm hearing more and more of this, some of these deals that are happening behind the scenes. And I hope that what it translates into is the kind of stuff that not only we're proud of, but the kind of stuff that moves us even as it entertains us. Because the last thing, Rick, is the thing that I think we got to be paying attention to is in this next wave is people keep talking about Biden or Trump, but Rick, you and I both know that's not the only thing on the ballot. And what we need to talk about more than anything else is voter education, because we don't even know what kind of process we're going to have in November. We can have a bunch of stay-at-home orders. It's going to be a whole lot of vote by mail. On one end, people talk about vote by mail being more secure, but the reality is we don't know what's going to happen. And so I'm excited.
They're talking about defunding the post office.
Listen, brother, you already know. Because what it means is now you don't have poll workers, because where are the polls if it's all vote by mail? You don't have the same kind of poll watching abilities with the lawyers that have been a great part of our community, that have been there when people have come out of the polls and felt like they didn't get the proper access to vote. Man, we got a lot of planning to do into this November, because somebody's gonna get elected, and whether we like it or not. And there are all kinds of things on the ballot. So there's a whole lot we're going to talk about, Rick. We're not going to talk about it all today. But those are some of the things that I think we should focus on, because there's a whole lot of stuff trying to distract us from the things that are really important. Rick, those are 3 things I got from you. Let me hear what y'all think. Y'all can hit me at Jeff's Nation on all social media. Man, y'all have a great Tuesday.
Kiki!
Hey!
Don't waste my time, Kiki!
Don't you waste my time.
Kiki, don't wait to tell me. Kiki, you called and you asked us to play. You said, "Hey, King Rickey Smiley, can you play Don't Waste My Time?" Why is that your son, Kiki?
Please don't, cuz I be starving. I be hungry. I'm broke. I need money. I need cash out. I need, like, a blessing from you. And you gonna turn around in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter. And talk about, we'll see what's what. That's wasting my time. When you say, we'll see what's what.
Right. Hey, Kiki.
What?
Say good morning to Eva. You know she is your biggest fan. She loves you.
Eva's my homegirl. Eva, what's up, Eva?
Good morning, Kiki. How you doing, baby?
Good morning, Kiki. How you doing? I like when you talk to me like that.
You like when she use her white woman voice?
Kiki, I cannot stop laughing. Okay, you said you broke, but did you get your stimulus check?
Did I get a stimulus check? I don't think I did, cuz I think I filled it out wrong. I think I filled out the application wrong.
Wasn't no application. They just
There wasn't an application.
Huh?
Did you file your taxes?
I don't got no job.
Oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah, that's
okay. Well,
I do have on my porch, so that's a job to me.
Right.
Oh, you do hair?
Yeah, she did on her porch. On her porch.
What kind of hair you do?
Yeah, she do. Tell them what kind of hair you do. You do braids and what else?
Yeah, box braid, circle braid. I do. What kind of hair I do?
27 piece.
Huh?
27 piece.
27 piece. That sounds like a big family chicken dinner. I don't know about that.
Do you do quick weaves?
Quick, yeah, real quick. Like, if you're trying to get to the club 3 before 11, you can get to me as late as 10:50. I do it real quick.
That's real quick.
That's a wig.
Okay.
You must live next door to the club.
Hey, Kiki. All right, so you called in today to talk about the 3 things that white people do in movies, right?
Scary movie.
Yeah, in scary movies. 3 things that white people do in scary movies. Now, what's the first one?
Okay, number 3. White people always walking in somebody's house when they don't answer the door. If you knock and they don't answer, turn around and go home. Always walking in somebody's house talking about, hello, is anybody here? Say something. This isn't funny. Somebody say something. Number 2.
Yeah. Number 2.
White people ain't never got enough gas in their car when they're trying to get away from the monster. Every time they get in the car, no. Come on, quick up.
You are facts. You are stating all facts. Man. They never have gas in the car.
No lies.
And what they say to the car, Kiki?
Come on, quick up. Come on, don't do this to me now. Don't do this right now. Come on. He's going to kill us.
Gary, is that true?
Baby, that is so true, honey. I'm looking at a white girl Niner movie doing that. Yes, Kiki, baby.
And what's the number 1 thing that white people do in scary movies, Kiki?
The number 1 thing they do, white people always try to go see who and what made the noise. Not me. As soon as I hear some Ricky, I'm quick to get my kids. Lamisha, Aquanisha, Lasagna, let's go. I think
Hey, Kiki. So white people want to know. White people try to go and find where the noise is coming from. What the noise sound like? What do they be hearing, Kiki?
They be hearing something like, oh, I heard a click. Did you hear the click? Uh-oh. Hello? Is somebody in here? Say something. Now my damn car won't start. No. Hell no.
Oh, yeah.
I can't get it.
right there, that's the best part of that song.
Boy, that song gonna be in your head all day.
And this week, it's the Blonde Hair, Blue-Eyed Soul edition.
And it goes a little something like this. It is the top of the hour, the brat. Eva.
Yes, sir.
Gary. Special K.
Yes, sir.
Rock T.
What up, Mike?
Boy, come on.
No, you
Roll Tide.
You damn right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, stop. I don't think I will do it. I was going. I was like, no. I don't care where you from. You love that damn. When you hear that, when you out at the wing spot or out at Sizzler and that come on, I don't give a damn where you from. You out at the Sizzler steak. I eat you a hamburger steak with some damn that damn hamburger steak with that Heinz 57. That Heinz 57 with a hamburger steak and them big ass steak fries, man. What? You thought you was rich? When you hear Sweet Home Alabama, you know that's your damn song, man. And then when they get to that hook, we say Roll Tide Roll. All right, but I got one for you. I ain't gonna play that one. I ain't gonna do y'all like that because I will do it. I will do it. You know I'm from the great state of Alabama. I will do it. But here we go right here. Here we go. Here we go, y'all. Now, you like Christopher Cross' version of Sailing, but you ain't heard Avant's version. Oh, let me tell you. So just here we go. I need everybody to turn your radio up. If you've been to the beach, if you're on the beach, you're in South Florida, this is a song right here. If you like Sailing, Avant killed this. Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
Was not fall down paradise. It could be.
But let me tell you something. Man, I tell you what, you play that when you sitting on the beach, everybody that's driving down to the Gulf, oh man, if you on the beach and you listen to this right here, man, you know, and you never would think somebody would just redo Christopher Cross, but if I can get Avant just for my birthday to remake Jerry Rafferty's Baker Street, everybody know that Baker Street is my all-time favorite song. It's a song by Jerry Rafferty by Baker. If him or Brian McKnight, and Brian McKnight be low-key remaking stuff, playing it on his keyboard at his house, and I wait for those videos to come out, but Avant and that damn Kiki, when they get, oh my God, Avant is just, what's that hood slow song Avant came out with called Separated? We're going to do that one day.
That's a good one too, but this song is so beautiful, Ricky.
Have you ever heard the original by Christopher Cross?
I have not, but I do play this song when I'm laying in my bathtub with my candles burning, drinking my wine.
With them damn Joy dishwashing detergent bubbles in there.
I use Palmolive.
Don't sit up here. Say what? Say what?
Palmolive.
You say Palmolive?
From Tarjay, darling. Palmolive from Tarjay.
Yeah, you got your candles there, but I promise you got some dishwashing liquid in that bathtub.
They make the best bubbles.
We'll get I'm talking about that stuff how you so clean, your first layer of skin start peeling off your body. You be so clean. You use Palmolive or Joy dishwashing liquid in that damn bathtub. Yeah. Let
me tell you how I keep my bath water soft.
Talk to me, Brad.
I put a little Sugar Avery pea in it.
Oh, my God. Soft right there.
Keep my skin so soft.
Hey, y'all, I need everybody to blow up Avant, man. Y'all hit up Avant on social media and say, Rickey Smiley, really need you to make Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. That will bless my whole life. I need the violins. I don't want nobody to touch that. I don't care. Do not ever take the violins and the strings out of any song. Right. If you notice, if you listen to the original, listen to this. He left all of the strings in there. He started harmonizing. Because Christopher Cross, he don't harmonize on his. But, you know, I'm skeptical about my soft rock. Avant killed this right here. Tell Avant. Rickey Smiley, we are putting pressure on you, Avant. Dear Avant, we really need you to remake Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. That's my all-time favorite song.
I think he got a studio in his crib. Let's start DMing him right now. I'm finna start right now.
Everybody, if you got Avant number, text him, blow his phone up, blow up his social media, tell him if he gonna make them, he got to do, because Baker Street is the song that they play the most on XM Yacht Rock Radio. So you gonna hear Baker Street every 2 hours. Delilah played it the other night. I swear I love Baker Street by Jerry Rafferty. Avant, we need it. All right, y'all. I got them coming all week. Hey, Eva.
Yes, sir.
Guess who on the phone?
Who on the phone?
Hello? Hello? Oh, she ain't on you, Eva. I got your friend. I got Kiki on the phone coming up next.
News headlines. Entertainment. Sports. It's the front page on the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. Hey, 25 after the hour. The segment's being brought to you by Simple Mobile. At Simple Mobile, you get the no contract advantage with no mystery fees, no activation fees, and no contract ever. Simple Mobile, out with the old, in with the simple. Terms and conditions at simplemobile.com. Got your front page right here. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, Ricky. Good morning, everyone, and happy beautiful Tuesday. Here's a quick look at your headline news. So the largest teacher union in Florida has filed a lawsuit yesterday over the governor's push to reopen schools during the pandemic. The union says the order violates the state constitution. Also, the White House met with Republican leaders yesterday and will now meet with Democrats today to discuss a fifth coronavirus relief package. And President Trump announced that he's going to start doing his daily coronavirus briefings again. In other news, another obvious effort to save his reelection, Trump is threatening to send federal troops into several major U.S. cities to crack down on crime. Now, more cities are coming out of Portland, and stories are coming out of Portland, Oregon, where federal troops were deployed to remove Black Lives Matter protesters over the weekend. Now, a Navy veteran had come out to say and ask whether the officers felt that the actions violated the Constitution. They beat him with a baton and doused him with pepper spray. So sad. Now, in other news, organizers for the Strike for Black Lives said that more than 20,000 workers in 160 cities walked off their jobs yesterday. And Senator Nikema Williams of Georgia has been chosen as the Democratic nominee to replace the late John Lewis on the November ballot. That was a quick look at your headline news. For more on what's trending, log on to the RickeySmileyMorningShow.com. Rock T, what is cracking in sports?
Let's start off with NFL star wide receiver Antonio Brown, who is still on nobody's roster. He decides to retire again. He says the risk is greater than reward. He is not going to play any more football as of right now. In the meantime, the NFL makes an offer to the players to cancel all preseason games, instead have a longer training camp, then jump right into a regular season. I'm all for that right there. High school football in the state of California has been postponed until January of 2021. Expect other states to follow suit and follow that lead. Last but not least, NBA tested 346 players at the Bubble campus in Orlando this week and had no positive tests for COVID-19. So that's very promising right there as they prepare to restart their season in Disney World coming up next week. It is what it is, man. DeBrat got the hot spot right now. Let's go.
Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot.
So hot and that's hot. You can catch me at the hot spot. It's the BR18.
All right, 28 after the hour, Rickey Smiley Morning Show. It's time for the hot spot with the Brat Tat Tat. What up, Brat?
What up, Ricky? Good morning, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? This is the hot spot where we give you music, movies, and more. So let's get off into this thing, because this is juicy. Eva, girl, listen to this. ABC News executive Barbara Fadita will not return to the Disney-owned unit following an investigation into allegations of insensitive behavior and her treatment of employees, according to a familiar person with the matter. Staffers were notified Monday from Peter Rice, the chairman of Walt Disney Television, and said the investigation substantiated that Miss Fadita did make some of the unacceptable racially insensitive comments attributed to her. It also sustained that Miss Fadita managed in a rough manner and on occasion used crass and inappropriate language. Now in June, y'all, we did a story where Whoopi Goldberg said, she was a great producer and she didn't think that Fadita would say anything like this, but if she did, she is gone. Well, bye-bye, baby. ABC News stated, although Miss Fadita made contributions to the organization over a 20-year span of her career, in the light of overall findings, we have determined that she can no longer serve in leadership, nor will she be returning to ABC News. And that is the end of that.
Did Robin Robbins say something about it? Because I feel so bad she lost her job. Because all she told Robin Robbins was, it's not like, girl, we asking you to pick cotton, girl, we paying you millions of dollars. And she lost her job.
I'm sure Miss Roberts is not sad at all. But Robin Roberts is not a negative person, so she's not going to say nothing bad. But I know she like, yeah, watch what you say.
She's not a plaything neither.
Okay, she ain't nothing to play with either. All right, y'all, moving on. This is going to be something interesting because in light of all this Will Smith and Jada stuff, everybody coming out saying something. So Elise Neal, she was on All of Us. She said all of this happened because they've been had an unhappy marriage. She said Will and Jada served as executive producers of the show, starring Dwayne Martin and Elise Neal, which my sister Lisa Ray was also on. I believe
I went to a set of that one time.
I love that show.
Yeah, she was Sharice. She would be like the character of Sharice, his first wife, I think. Anyway, it enlightened the ups and downs of a blended family. But Elise left the show in 2005 after only 2 seasons, and she recently revealed why she's talking about it right now, y'all. I don't know. It's like everybody getting a chance to shine or trying to, get their 15 minutes. You already famous. Like, mind your business, keep this to yourself. But anyway, she talked about the highly publicized love triangle with the singer August Alsina. And she said it's not a new dynamic for the couple. She said tensions been rising from Will and Jada's alleged tumultuous relationship, and that's why she decided to leave the show. She said, I wasn't being treated fairly because we were not happy. They were not happy. Everyone that I was on All of Us said, and if someone is unhappy, they spread that unhappiness to others. And I wasn't happy on that set because people treated me in a way that I could tell that they were unhappy.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, okay, girl. Why you ain't talk about this a long time ago?
Not only that, but
everybody want to now do stuff about Will Smith and Jada. Like,
exactly.
Okay, like they make mistakes, people make mistakes, but the world is crazy right now. Whatever you do, people will capitalize off of it.
Yep.
Man,
even if it's negative, it's cool to do it to something positive. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Ricky. What you say?
No, I was just saying, man. My little ADHD. I was sitting up here on. How you be liking a girl on Facebook, waiting for her dude to mess up, but then she posts a damn ultrasound. Just ruin your
Rickey Smiley. Your side piece spread.
Okay, you know what I'm talking about.
Shattered them dreams, bro.
That's exactly what you're talking about.
Oh my
That's
God.
cute.
What'd you say, Kay?
Yeah. When you see that little black and white grainy little picture, boy, it just ruined your whole day.
And it's yesterday's date.
Cause now you gotta wait another 2 years before they break up.
You tell Facebook that you don't want to see no more of her posts for 30 days. What they be saying is like, slow down on these posts.
Just hang around for 2 years. She'll be free again.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. All right, y'all. That's going to wrap up the hot spot right there. Coming up next, we got Chef Kurt Boudreaux with that quarantine cuisine, and we got the praise mix. What?
Uh-oh.
I mean, she be fine, but her stomach be looking like some balled up homework.
What's up? Get out of bed.
Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
The Rickey Smiley Morning Show.
All right, y'all, this quarantine cooking man with the one and only Louisiana chef Kurt Boudreaux.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on?
How you feeling, man?
I feel with my hands, baby, but this morning.
Okay, Boudreaux.
Hey, tell her where they can find him. You can stop right there, dog.
Listen.
Yeah, Kurt. Wow.
I don't even want to hear the recipe after that one. That was a good one.
All right, man. Today I got for y'all the shrimp pesto with a zucchini and yellow squash.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How you make that?
I made the squash like spaghetti. So first I peeled and devein the shrimp, set aside, and for the zucchini and squash I use like a spiralizer to make them look like noodles, veggie pasta or whatever, and use For the pesto, I use some Italian parsley, basil, olive oil, little with Parmesan cheese. I left out the pine nuts because some people are allergic. But once I did that, I introduced the ingredients for the pesto shrimp. I got it all together and put the pesto in the shrimp and let that saute in the pan. Right. Just threw in the pasta after. Just put it in a plate or in a bowl. Get your grub on.
Oh, that sounds good and healthy.
Dude.
Man, that's awesome, Kurt. Hey, Kurt.
Yes, sir.
Man, you be throwing down. I swear, man. Hey, make sure you do that damn video, man. Let these people know how to prep now. They don't know. They say that's why it take all day to cook.
Well, see, I need to understand the zucchini pasta. Like, how do you turn zucchini into pasta?
Well, there's a little spiralizer. You can buy them at Walmart or whatever. Mm-hmm. And you basically just cut the end off the zucchini and just push it in there, and it can actually you can make them big or small.
Yeah.
And then, wow.
Even you've never seen that?
Girl, I just buy the pasta in the bag.
Yes.
No, my little cooking self. What?
Thank you so much,
Chef.
For
people that don't like, put on, baby.
Yeah. And Kurt, how can they find the video?
Oh, man, you can find this video at Rickey Smiley Official. Also, follow your boy on Facebook at Boudreaux's Catering. And on Instagram, Chef_Boudreaux1.
There it is. Y'all give it up for Quarantine Cooking with Chef Kurt Boudreaux. Hero.
Y'all have a good
Appreciate
day,
you, big dog. Have a good day,
yes,
Kurt.
Sir.
It's the Rickey Smiley Morning Show.